Hello ladies and gents, welcome to tonight's episode of Morte D'Arthur. Tonight, that good old night, Sir Bors will continue with the trials and tribulations. I've lost my sword, here's my sword. We'll continue with the trials that he's been set in the castle of King Pellers. Will he survive? Will he die? All will be revealed tonight, ladies and gents, as he fights on, wounded though he might be. Danny, you're very, very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And hello and welcome, everyone. Hello, come in, Black Rabbit. Hello, Darby. Hello, Herbert. Hello. Who else have we got in here? Hello, Dale. I've got... Well, Danny, one day, I've been saying, we have got this at some point, Danny. You might be looking, I might start auctioning off some wigs to match up the hair. And this is actually the hair that I used to have for fancy dress when I wanted this hair before I could grow it. But I'm glad you like it, Danny. One day we might do a charity auction, at which point we might get rid of the fake hair that we've got sat in Simon's corner. But it's important to have fake hair just for those moments when... Hello, Danny, come in. But I'm glad you like it, Darby. Glad indeed. Hello, Elizabeth, come in. Of course, that... Well, no, I used to... I've got a photo of me with short hair. Yeah, he says, covering everything else up. Simon's hair used to be like that short. That's how short it is on his driving licence. Well, I'm glad I saved you from the BBC4 report on grey crested newts. So Simon's hair used to be really short. And so when he was dressing up as Tom Baker for Doctor Who, he needed that hair to pull off the Tom Baker look. Simon wigs for Halloween. Some Simon masks as well will be all set. Well, thank you for stopping by, Danny. Good luck with your assignment, and take care. It was really nice of you to drop in. I know, now I have it. Now I have the hair. I don't need to fake it anymore. I'm living the dream. You don't need to picture me with short hair. There are enough pictures lying around, Darby, of me with short hair already. Hello, Lottie. Come in. Welcome. It's great to see you again. Sit yourself down and pull up a chair. Well, I'm glad that we like the hair. Actually, Herbert, I have met Mr. Tom Baker, and Tom Baker was proud of you. And in cutting off his opponent's escape, Sir Bors smote him down. And in doing so, the knight yielded to him. "What is your name?" said Sir Bors. "Sir," said he, "my name is Pedivere of the Straight Marches." And so Sir Bors there made him swear at Whitsunday next coming to be at the court of King Arthur, and yield him there as a prisoner, as an overcome knight, by the hand of Sir Bors. So, thus departed Sir Pedivere of the Straight Marches, and then Sir Bors laid himself down to rest. But once he fell asleep, he heard a noise, and felt a change in the air of the chamber. And then Sir Bors spied that there came in a man, and he knew not which door or windows it came from. But a shot of arrows and of quarrels so thick that he marvelled came into the room, and many fell upon him and hurt him in the bare places of his skin. Then Sir Bors was aware that into that room came a hideous lion, so that Sir Bors readied himself to the lion, and anon the lion knocked his shield from him. With his sword, Sir Bors readied himself for the lion's attack as it came at him again, and then Sir Bors, in raising his sword, smote off the lion's head. And in doing so, immediately as the lion fell, Sir Bors saw a dragon in the court passing horrible. and there seemed to be letters of gold written on the dragon's forehead, and Sir Bors thought that those letters made a signification of King Arthur. And right so into the room they came too, a horrible leopard and an old one. And there they fought long and did great battle together, and at the last the dragon spit out of its mouth as if it were 100 dragons inside of it. And lightly all those small dragons slew the old dragon and tore him to pieces, and anon there came an old man into the hall. And the old man sat himself down in a fair chair, and there seemed to be 2 adders about his neck. And then the old man had a harp, and there he sang an old song of how Joseph of Arimathea came into that land. And when he had sung his song, the old man bade Sir Bors to leave. For here shall you have no more adventures, he said, and full worshipfully have you done, and better will you do hereafter. And then Sir Bors seemed that there came the whitest dove with a little golden censer in her mouth. And anon therewith the tempest ceased, and past that before was marvellous to hear. And so was all at that court full of good savours. Then Sir Bors saw 4 children bearing 4 fair tapers, and an old man in the middle of the children, with a censer in his own hand, and a spear in his other, and that spear was called the Spear of Vengeance. Thank you, Lizzie, or thank you for coming. Do come back again, halfway through tonight's tale, ladies and gents. And Sir Bors has survived his night of adventure in that castle. He survived an assault by a knight. He survived attack by arrows and quarrels. He's survived dragons and leopards to prove himself to be a most worshipful knight who will go on to do great worshipful things once again, ladies and gents. And so, very intense, Dawn, but we like intense. Intense is best. And so, ladies and gents, we then move on to the next part of tonight's tale. Now, said that old man to Sir Bors, go to your cousin Sir Lancelot, and tell him of this adventure, the which had been most convenient for him of all earthly knights. But since there is no foul in him, he may not achieve such holy deeds, for he had not been his sin. He had passed all the knights that ever were in his days. But Lancelot has sinned with Lady Elaine, and so he might not be worshipful. And tell Sir Lancelot that of all the worldly adventures he passes in manhood and prowess all other, but in the spiritual matters he shall have many who are his better. And then Sir Bors saw 4 gentle women come by him, who were pure, and he saw where they entered into a chamber that there was a green light, as it were a summer light. And the women kneeled down before an altar of silver with 4 pillars, and as it had been a bishop kneeled down before that table of silver. And as Sir Bors looked over his head, he saw a sword like silver naked, hovering over his head, and the clearness thereof smote so in his eyes that, as at that time Sir Bors was blind. And then he heard a voice that said, go hence, Sir Bors, for as you are not now worthy to be in this place. And then he went backwards to his bed until the morning. And on the morning King Pelles made great joy of Sir Bors, and then he departed. And he rode to Camelot, and there he found Sir Lancelot the Lake, and he told him of the adventures that he had seen with King Pelles at Corbin. So the noise sprang in Arthur's court that Lancelot had begotten a child upon the Lady Elaine, who was the daughter of King Pelles. And wherefore Queen Guinevere was angry and gave many rebukes to Sir Lancelot and called him a false knight. And then Sir Lancelot told the Queen and all of how it was not his fault he had lain with Elaine, for he had been tricked into it, for she was enchanted to be in the likeness of the Queen. And so Guinevere excused Sir Lancelot. And as the book says, King Arthur, who had been in France at the time, had made war upon the mighty King Claudius, and he had won much of his lands. And when the king came home again, he let cry a great feast, and there all lords and ladies of all of England should be there. But if they weren't there, he would treat them as having rebelled against him. So, ladies and gents, we end tonight's tale with King Arthur calling for a great feast in Camelot. And tomorrow, by that feast, we'll see just what happens when the Lady Elaine comes with her son Sir Galahad, seeking Lancelot, the baby daddy in question. And tomorrow night, ladies and gents, we'll see just what happens as more sorceries are cast within the court of Camelot. All to come tomorrow night, ladies and gents. Yes, Dawn, baby daddy is a Middle English term after all, and which can be we can trace the term baby daddy back at least 700 years, I think, possibly longer. I'm just teasing. Just teasing. I think baby daddy is a far more modern term, but I wanted to use it anyway. Magic baby daddy and Tinder. That's what we're about. We're updating the tales of King Arthur and making them modern. Anyway, speaking of updating the tales of King Arthur, speaking of making all of this modern, we have some modern tales to continue telling tonight, ladies and gents. But tonight, after the show, ladies and gents, we'll be doing Poetry Live. And on Poetry Live tonight, I am going to be reading Dr. Seuss. That's right, ladies and gents, I can pronounce the man's name, Dr. Seuss, on Poetry Live. I'll say it again because I can pronounce it. Dr. Seuss coming up on Poetry Live. It's all still to come. So I'll close down this scope. Sari, hello. We're just finishing. We're just finishing Les Morte d'Arthur, Sari. But no, don't worry, Sari. Poetry Live still to come. And Poetry Live, we will have Dr. Seuss to share with you all on Poetry Live. Absolutely, Sari. Don't fear, don't worry. There's good stuff still to come. So I will see you all very, very shortly, ladies and gents, for Poetry Live in a few minutes' time. I'm going to load up my Dr. Seuss and see you there. Bye-bye.